So hi, good evening all. Welcome to Leaders Connect 360. Leaders Connect 360 is CSR initiative by BIDA, training and organized by the Mask Leadership. My name is Priyanka Bhatia and I'm working with Ambuja Cement Foundation as a senior soft skill facilitator. Leaders Connect 360 started with a specific objective of inviting 1,000+ leaders and create 1 million leaders, a hybrid model leadership community where every Wednesday from 6:30 to 7:15 p.m. we learn from top management leaders on Zoom Live, and once in 3 months in each city, we will have an offline networking, meet to network, support, and grow with leaders. That's when we call as leaders, create more leaders. Currently, all are muted, and we will be giving you an opportunity to speak our guest, Ms. Avani, the Vice President of Learning and Development and Innovation at Global Talent Track. But before that, let me also share that we are currently live on LinkedIn, and this episode, LC098, is being recorded. For the visitors who are joining the first time, you may also click on WhatsApp, FB, and LinkedIn link on the chat box and to get updates on weekly basis and join us in creating more leaders. Also, we request all our members and visitors to turn on your videos, which will help us in making the episode highly interactive. So are we all ready to interact with our guest, Ms. Avani, Vice President of Learning and Development and Innovation at Global Talent Track on the topic of transform your mindset? Then please type yes in the chat box. Thank you, Senthil sir. Thank you, Arul. Thank you, Prakash sir. Thank you, Partha sir. Thank you all. Before the brief Before the introduction of the guest, let me also take the privilege to introduce founder of the Leaders Connect, Mr. Prakash Sharma, who will have an interaction with our guest along with the panel discussion leader. I shall welcome you all. So over to you, Prakash, sir. Thank you so much.
Great. Thank you very much, Priyanka, for an awesome introduction. That's really been great. And hi, all. Good evening. Good evening, Avani, and thanks very much for being our guest of honor. Good evening, all the members and the visitors who are joining for the first time. And I'm sure there are more people joining us one by one. And as we start on time, so we will keep continuing, and members who are joining us will always keep joining. That's great, Bart. And Avani, welcome to the Mask Leadership's Leaders Connect 360. So we welcome you here. I believe you're able to unmute yourself, Ms. Avani.
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for this warm welcome. Good evening, all.
Pleasure, Avani. Thanks very much for joining us today and taking your time and creating more leaders. So that's what we're going to do here. So let me also quickly request Arul to share a quick introduction video and introducing more about Ms. Avani to all. So Arul, over to you. That's great. Thanks very much. So all the members, visitors, let's type welcome with Miss Avani and welcome Mr. Senthil to all the people who are here in the room today. Great. So thanks very much for typing in. And great, Avani. It's been really nice to have on this different and peculiar topic. I would suggest us transform your mindset. Rather than even putting in a word peculiar, I would say that this is more of a need of the hour. In fact, that every human being requires or they need to really transform their mindset. And I'm sure most of the people who are here are really excited to listen and learn more about how do we actually transform the mindset. Every leader has their own ways of transforming mindsets, kind of an example. So what's that from you is what we like to listen and learn and understand more. And that's where is it. And welcome, Mr. Senthil Kumar. And thanks for taking up the role of a panel discussion leader's role. That's great in your time you're taking up. So over to you, Mr. Senthil, for a quick discussion along with Avani, and then I will come back again later. Yeah. So yes, Senthil.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Prakash, and thank you very much, team. by the way, have this pleasant evening, and we have a very critical topic that is on the transform mindset. And as a role today, I would like to have a panel discussion role to interview with Avani on the transformation mindset. Thank you all. Hope we all have a great time and great learning from today's session as Mr. Prakash says going on this. By the way, good evening, Avani.
Good evening, Senthil.
Yeah. Okay. So thank you very much for being a part of this session. And I hope that today this 23 members in this team would be having a very great learnings from your conversation and from your message, what we will learn from you, Avani. So then coming to the topic today, on the critical topic of the mindset, we would like to understand what exactly the mindset mean and how this specifically relates to a fixed or the growth mindset. Maybe if you can help us to bring some light on this, it will be more helpful for the team.
Sure, absolutely. So first of all, a very big thank you to the Leaders Connect and the Mask Leadership, Prakash, Arul, Senthil, thank you so much for the question. And, what could be a better way to start this year, that is 2023, transforming our mindsets in a new transformational year, which is 2023. Yeah. So yes, absolutely, Senthil, if I have to talk about mindsets, right? Yeah. Our minds play a very powerful and a very important role in what we believe and how we think, what we think about ourselves, and our abilities decide how we act and lead our life. Some of us who are here, who joined this session, thanks for joining this session. And some of us may be aware that all of us tend to have what we call is a reptilian brain. Right? In case some of us don't know what is a reptilian brain, I will just give you a very simple example. Any kind of automatic routines which we have learned to do without thinking much about them. For example, riding a bicycle, driving a car, or playing cricket. These are largely performed by our reptilian brain. So let me give you a very simple example, and an example that most of you will relate with, right? So while you're walking, you can be sipping a cold coffee, speaking on the mobile phone, you're speaking to somebody, and looking for where you have parked your car in the parking, right? You could be doing all of this at the same time. That's because of the reptilian brain that we have. And by the time you walk to the parking, you may not even have that memory of how did you walk till the parking and how did you spot your car while you were already sipping cold coffee, which is one task. And you were speaking to somebody on the phone, which is another task, requires more attention, right? You may not even actually realize that you finished your cold coffee, right? So this is all because of the reptilian brain, and this is how we function, right? So if you talk about mindset, when you enter a mindset, you're entering a whole new space, right? Mindset as a term was coined by a psychologist. I will not get into the details, a well-renowned Stanford University psychologist. But very simply put, mindset is a collection of thoughts and beliefs, right, that shape your habits. That is why I mentioned reptilian brain, right? And it is these habits of ours that affect how we think, how we behave, what we feel, what we do. Our mindset impacts how we make the sense of the entire world and how we make sense of our own selves. So if we have to reflect on certain aspects like our intelligence, talent, personality, right? We can say that many people tend to feel that these are simple fixed traits carved in stone and they can't be changed. Right? But they are actually our mindset, and they can actually be cultivated and changed, right? And they very closely relate to our attitudes and beliefs. So again, if I have to, give a little insight into attitude, our mindset shapes our attitude, and our attitude reinforces the mindset. And what beliefs that we have are the basic building blocks of beliefs are these ideas. If I have to give you a very simple example, beliefs are like a tabletop. As you build on experiences, references, You add more legs, or you add relevant legs to your tabletop. And when you feel that your idea is very, very certain, it becomes a belief. And that is when your belief shapes your attitude shapes your belief. So basically, mindset is a way of thinking. And if I have to go ahead and, talk about our topic for today, which is transforming our mindset, right? So this space, like I said, mindset is an arena or a space. It could be fixed, or it could be of a growth mindset. Now, when we operate out of a fixed mindset, for us, success becomes, and please note, I'm saying not success is, but success in our mind becomes all about, whether you're smart or talented or you're not, or, all the time we keep validating ourselves. Whereas in the space of growth mindset, it's all about changes in me, myself, changes in the environment, changes in the situation. And it's about stretching ourselves to go beyond ourselves, our limit, learning something new, developing ourselves. So while in a certain space of fixed mindset, we could talk about failures, right? Because failures lead us to fixed mindsets that, oh, I cannot do this. I've done this. I cannot do this anymore. It doesn't work for me. So failure is not about growing. It means that you're not fulfilling your potential that you have. It is considered equivalent of not being smart or talented, as I mentioned, and there goes the validation, right? Whereas if you talk about a growth mindset, effort, putting in those efforts, smart work, hard work, is what makes you smart or talented. So instead of running away from those setbacks or failures or giving up, you can totally take advantage of your failures by reviewing them, identifying what were the gaps, what went well, what did not go well, and then, devising a plan to correct, to course correct, to rightly say, right? And once you set your mind to look at failures as a means to learn and grow, instead of considering them as a limitation, like you put, they say the horse's blinkers are put. Yes, absolutely. So that the horse keeps moving in that direction. The horse will not move, look left, will not look right. The horse knows, okay, only this is my path. So let's remove those. Those are our limitations, right? For example, I'm sure we all have also heard this example somewhere or the other. You tie an animal, let's say a dog, you tie the dog to a particular door, let's say, right? And then the dog is there for quite a few minutes. You unleash the dog, but the dog will keep standing there because for him or for that particular animal, he's still chained. Our mindset is just like that, right? So you'll be able to use the growth mindset to your advantage. So here is where all of us have a choice. Mindsets are just beliefs. They're powerful beliefs, but they're all in our mind. And you can totally change your mind.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Avani, for beautifully articulating how we evolved from the reptilian brain to today's human being, and how the limiting belief takes transformation using this mindset and belief, really well nurtured and in a very crisp message, so that each of us get benefit out of this. Really, thank you, Avani. Now coming to this next topic on the mindset, we would be very curious to understand how this transformation of mindset happens, and what exactly do we need to have high expectation, or do we need to accept the situation?
Sure. So, again, if you look at learning, since we are talking about learning, developing, and growing, it's not enough to simply say that we have a culture of high expectations or that we foster a growth mindset. We need to be able to demonstrate what it really looks like, what makes a real difference for us daily. We need to have what I call I think I can approach, or like Nike as a brand says, just do it because you can, right? It is that self-fulfilling prophecy of if you think you can, then you can, that can lead us to this, approaching each opportunity, each new opportunity with a positive frame of mind makes us more receptive to learning, right? Our minds are very clear, our bodies are very calm, and they're ready to absorb any information before, any kind of step that we may take. And to add to this I can attitude, I think I can attitude, we may need many opportunities for practicing, but we need to put forth a lot of effort. We need to stay motivated and put ourselves on track. And since I'm talking about motivation, let us talk about why you do whatever you do. And here I will encourage the audience also to answer, Arul and Prakash and Senthil can tell us how will they respond using chat, etc. Please tell me why you do whatever that you do. And it could be anything. And I'm not talking about your job or profession, right? I'm talking about anything that you do. It could be, playing Ludo on your mobile game. It could be going for that early morning walk, or it could be watching your favorite web series. Yes, Prakash, thank you. Prakash says it's because of interest. Okay. All right. Anybody else? Why do you do whatever you do? To explore, absolutely. Inner passion, which drives us. Thank you, Senthil. Okay. Thanks, Parthasarthi says, wish to achieve. And Arul says, because I like to do so. Absolutely. Okay. To keep fit, says Giri. So I'm sure, Giri, you're into some fitness. Swapna says, because I like doing it, because of my likes. All right. Okay, great. Sundaresan sir says it's because of intense involvement. Absolutely. Because I get intensely involved in it. Right? Okay. So let's take simple example of why do you show up to, absolutely, Vasanthi says enjoying life at the fullest. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Vasanthi. So why do you show up to, let's say, work or office every day? Or why do you show up at the gym? Or why do you want to watch that particular TV web series? What is it that drives you, right? What is it that makes you get out of bed, get ready happily and cheerfully, and reach your destination each morning, whether it's the gym or the office or whatever it may be? What is your purpose, right? If you don't have a very compelling purpose, you might be doing only enough work, right, to lose weight or to keep your job or any such thing, right? Just going to that particular place and doing the bare minimum, but not doing it with full intent and interest, just like Prakash said, right? You don't do it with any passion or less passion because there's no purpose that you see, right? There is no vision. We talk about the big picture. Yes, that big picture is not there. But when you find that purpose, and you follow your purpose, you're likely to be so much more enthusiastic and have so much energy. You'll be more persistent and more successful in any kind of obstacles that may, come your way. And here, let me give you a very interesting example. This is from a research, and I'm again sure you must have heard of this example. Let us look at the impact of mindset on the effect of medication, right? Now, there is a very powerful phenomenon known as the placebo effect. Yes, in which if we believe that we are going to derive certain benefits from taking a particular medicine, we often end up doing that, right? So regardless of our disease or our condition, the patients who take this medicine see significant improvement in their symptoms, even if the doctor has just given them a pill, which is nothing but a sugar pill or a random pill, or is just a pill for the sake of it, and actually is not medicinal, because the patients believe that the pill is going to be helpful, right? Again, equally interesting and very fascinating is another psychological response based on a person's expectations around side effects, right? So when a doctor emphasizes on the side effects of a medicine, the patient believes that, oh, I will definitely develop these symptoms, even if he is given the same sugar pill or pill that is not really a medicine. And then they develop these adverse side effects because they feel, oh, this medicine is going to give me those side effects. And this is purely based on what their mind expects. And it is all about quantum theory and quantum physics, and science has already validated a lot of power of the mind-body relationship. So mindset matters, and it is important to pay attention to your belief systems, wherever they come from, how valid are they, and how, they impact the quality of your life. So, yes.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. As you said rightly, the transformation of the mindset plays a key role to pursue. So it means that we need to imbibe and understand our self-purpose. So when we do our action with self-purpose, the results of the action comes with a more deterministic and more positive way. Coming to this, as we have the learning saying that learning without implementation is arrogance, as cited by Richard Norton, we would like to have how well we can try to bring this in a daily life, or how well we can able to implement it in our daily life. Maybe you can help us in giving us a few easy and handy tips to implement it in our daily life, Avani.
Sure, absolutely. So here again, I have a quick question for the audience. So let me ask you and all of you, and definitely you, Senthil, because you and I are directly interacting, right? What would you prefer? Would you prefer freedom, or would you prefer something which is limited?
Freedom.
Freedom.
Of course,
we all love freedom. Yes, we all love freedom. We celebrate Independence Day. We all love freedom in our own ways. So what is the best mindset? Is the growth mindset, because growth mindset gives us a lot of freedom, right? Any kind of intelligence, abilities can be developed through a lot of effort and practice. And when we have a growth mindset, we embrace challenges as opportunities. We don't look at failures as failures. And like you said, there are again stepping stones to success. We become more open to criticism. Look at it as a way to learning. We embrace any kind of newness with a desire to master new skills, right? So that is how, and all of this eventually leads to a lot of collaboration, innovation, and positivity also in our mindset, or how do we feel and, how do we behave? Since you asked for, let's say a few simple ways to implement, absolutely. So let me start with a very simple day-to-day example of how can we bring a shift in our awareness and our energies. Let me start by saying, which is something very common, and I'm sure we are using this in our day-to-day life, when we are traveling on the road, and let's say we get a call for a meeting. And you're getting late for the meeting, you end up saying, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm stuck in the traffic. Right? So if you're feeling stuck, whether it's in traffic or in general about a particular thing, it could be your job, it could be, something that you want to achieve, it could be your business, it could be anything and everything that you do. Firstly, avoid the negative word stuck, right? Change your language. Change your language to saying that I'm finding it difficult to move ahead as of now, with a lot of emphasis on the word as of now, because as of now is a great indicator that just for the time being, you're not able to think straight, right? You're not able to move ahead because of whatever challenges, but that is okay because it's only as of now. In future, rather the near future, you will know that you will have a solution, because that's what you're telling your mind, that right now, as of now, I don't have a solution, but in future, I surely will have, right? So this is one quick step towards moving towards a space or an arena of growth, right? A lot of, they call it the power of words. There's a lot of power in the words that we use on a day-to-day basis. So in order to enable a growth mindset, right? Absolutely, Partha, I love both your comments that you've shared. Thank you so much. So the first step to enable a growth mindset is to catch yourself there and correct. So change the language. So instead of telling yourself, oh, I'm not good at it, I can't do it, I don't have the ability to learn, right? So use words that are more effective and choose to say that I can do it. I can do better. I want to explore new ideas. I believe in myself, right? So these are two interesting ways. And if we have the time, then I will definitely share a third technique as well.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Avani. Now coming to the brief closing of the session from my side, the last but not least, the last question is there any relationship between this mindset and the law of attraction, what we generally speak in the corporate language?
Right, absolutely. Law of attraction, Senthil, thank you for that question. Law of attraction happens to be one of my very favorite topics, very close to my heart, because it talks about intention. And as we must have seen in various videos or various messages that come to us through the WhatsApp university, as we call it these days, right? Our intentions affect our mindset. Right? So each of our actions, choices, behaviors are motivated by an intention, and at its root, there is either an intention to learn and grow or an intention to do something else. So basically, if you look at the growth mindset and the law of attraction, mindset affects every area of our life. It could be work, relationships, money, health. Whatever are our beliefs and attitudes towards each of these areas, they will definitely define and they will create our reality as a perception and belief. And that is what influences who we are in the world. And we tend to attract the results and outcomes that match those perceptions, right? And that is why I say that quantum physics, has proved that human beings are actually composed of atoms and space at a very fundamental level. And which is where, if I have to talk about law of attraction, you have a thought, and like, many of us must have heard or read that thoughts become things. So whatever you think becomes your reality. And very quickly, if I have to tell it or, spell it out in a few 3-4 steps, firstly, you have a thought or a belief about anything, right? That thought or belief, secondly, creates an emotional feeling within you, right? Now, how you're feeling emotionally determines the action you take. If you're angry, you'll obviously end up, shouting at somebody, maybe. Or if you're happy, you'll probably end up, being very cheerful and smiling, right? Now, all of this results in a particular outcome. Right? Now that outcome is very closely related to your mindset. Yes? And here I'll give a very quick, simple tip. They say that water has a lot of elements of absorbing energies, positive or negative. And what they say is that if you want, an intention to come true or fructify or give you positive results, you must have a glass. So take a glass of water, and take it in your hands and talk about the intention that you want, right? Of course, with the growth mindset that you have at the back of your mind, right? And then after that, with pure intentions, talking to that glass of water, drink that water. It'll energize you in a very different way. And many people believe that the water also has healing properties in the same manner. So yes, growth mindset and law of attraction are very closely related.
Thank you very much for bringing the secret on how we emphasize or imbibe the positive statement by speaking with water, with the positive affirmation statement, and drinking the water brings most positive energy. Really awesome, Avani. Really great for bringing this brief and valuable learnings for today's leadership forum members. Thank you very much, Avani. That's it from my side. Over to Prakash.
Thank you very much, Senthil. That is an awesome discussion, and great that you have been asking these questions on transforming the mindset. And Avani, excellent examples, and I would really say very practical examples which you're sharing. And a couple of things which I really liked about the placebo effect which you spoke, and you're talking about the reptilian brain. So these all are, for me, it is, I would say, definitely different people might have heard to the context and what is it, but what exactly it does is what now you're saying, which really gives me more clarity as well. I'm sure most of the other members and our other visitors also here today would have known this. Great, Avani. That's very nice. So we'll just take, Avani, a quick quiz now.
Sure.
And we, as a part of a process, what we do is during this interaction of whatever you had, we ask quiz question to all our members and visitors who are here. So all the visitors and members, now is the time for the quick quiz question. Whatever Miss Avani has spoken and shared, and whatever you've understood and what are the key pointers you've taken, now as a quiz question is going to be asked by Miss Uma. So Uma, over to you for the quick quiz question, and feel free to answer them on the chat box. So over to you, Uma. Uma? Okay, I believe...
I think she's muted.
She's muted?
Yeah.
Carol, if you can just help her, that will add value.
Yeah. Now she's back.
Yes.
Just a moment.
Yes,
Happy, it
Uma.
was like a wonderful takeaway today on very important topics like being very thought-provoking ideas, and being into some thoughtful training our mind into thoughtful processes. And I have a question for the day. It is it is based on the very beginning of the program. I would like to know which part of the body is in control of our innate and automatic self-preserving behavior patterns. So, ma'am was starting with this.
Okay. So, yes. So, quickly, answers please, faster. On the chat box.
Which part of the body is in control of our innate and automatic self-preserving behavior patterns?
So only two answers on the chat box, Uma. So
Okay.
which is one from Vasanti, one from Priyanka. Anant Kumar is highlighted. Swapna. Thought and belief. Okay, that's what Giri says. So good, Uma. So what's the answer? The answers are coming up.
Yeah, shall I disclose the answer?
Please go ahead.
It is a reptilian brain.
Yes, rightly said. So that's a reptilian brain, and wonderful. Thanks very much, Uma. That's really wonderfully shared, and the excellent question. But definitely, we'll also ask, in fact, Avani about it. So reptilian, how is it spelled, Avani? Reptilian is R-E-P.
Yes. Yes. If you want, I will just quickly put it in the chat. It is.
Yeah, that'll help.
Yes, I will just do that. It is R-E-P-T-I-L-I-A-N.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Reptilian. Okay, reptilian brain. Okay, wonderful. So reptilian brain is where it is. And who has shared the first? Though the spelling mistake is also there, always there, but Priyanka has actually highlighted it first. So congratulations, Priyanka. Wonderful. We're taking it up for the first. And being on the chat box, you're typing it in across. Congratulations, Priyanka. Let's type in congrats for Priyanka, all the chat box as well.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah. Wonderful. Congrats. And Priyanka, you will get the Mask Leadership's book as a complimentary. So stay in connect with Arul. So he will share with you, and you can share the address, and he will definitely
give
you this book as complimentary.
And sorry, my spelling was it was mistaken. So I'm very sorry
completely
for that.
Fine. That's the reason even I was confused. That's the reason I asked Ms. Avani as well. So it's completely fine. So what's the exact spelling we're not aware. So that's when Avani has explained us and shared us on the same. Thanks very much, Priyanka. It was awesome.
Thank you,
Good
sir.
one. Yes. So visitors as well as the members. Now is the time for open question to Ms. Avani, who is the guest of honor, as well as any open questions to Senthil. Also, if you have as a panel discussion leader, feel free. You can ask them as well, and we can take it forward. So two ways to ask the questions. Number one, Either you have any question, you can raise your hand and we give you an option to unmute you, and then you can ask a direct question to our guest of honor, Ms. Avani. Or if you wish to type your question in the chat box and we take that question on your behalf and we ask them to our guest of honor. So there are two ways of asking. So now is the time for the open questions for all the members and visitors over here. Any of the question related to the topic, very important, related to the topic, transform your mindset. Let's get into that asking. But yeah, I understand that so many questions can come up. So one already, Mr. Parthasarthi has raised his hand. So yes, Mr. Parthasarthi, you can go ahead with the first question. We give an option to unmute you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes,
thank you very much. Yeah, thank you very much. Happy evening to everyone.
Yes, happy evening.
My simple question, because just had an idea, I just want to know. Very simple. The storage area is a brain, correct? At the same time, decision mechanism also is a brain. How the people are relating the brain and heart, actually, I just want to know. Very simple.
Okay.
Okay, first of all, the relation between brain and heart, I think you'll have to go to a medical expert to understand that. However, if you talk about a very simple phenomena, which is, if you believe in something, you achieve it. So it happens through your mind or your brain, right? You go ahead, you believe in it, and through a few simple techniques, as I mentioned, you can definitely go ahead and achieve it. And as, for example, I was mentioning to Senthil also that if we have the time, I will talk about a technique, right? And the technique that I was talking about is, inversion, right? Now, where you say, the relation between heart and mind or heart and brain, it's what usually happens is, let's say, okay, so a very simple model, to uncover things that we normally do not think. So let me ask you. So there is a question, and how can you probably invert this question or change this question? And let's say a very simple question is, there is a project for you and you're asking yourself, how can I succeed in this project?
Okay.
So how can you invert or change this question?
So I will think only, actually, I will think and how to proceed, what are the possible ways from my experience, from my knowledge, what I learned from my circle. So that is the things, actually. So everything will be done and that our mindset and brain only, right? So because why I ask a question, most of the people are saying, I will be act from my heart only, right? So that's the reason I just asked a question. That's it.
Right. Thank you. Thank you so much, Parthasarthi. So putting the same question through inversion turns into a very simple question, which is, how can I fail in this project, right? So you're turning any challenge, any situation, and any problem upside down.
Okay.
You're looking at it backward. So, something like, what happens if all our plans go wrong, right? So I know it's not natural to think opposite of what we desire when we know that the solution is right in front of us and completely in confirmation with what we believe.
Got it.
So our mind does not seek limitations, of our own assumptions unless we put a conscious effort to learn it by inverting the query, right? And that is when, instead of looking for success, you probably make a list of how you will fail instead, right? So that is where, you can also see how you will achieve, by inverting or using the inverting technique.
Okay. Let me follow it. Thank you. Thank you for the question.
Great. Thanks for the question, Partha.
Yeah.
So, Avani, as you're sharing this, a very nice inversion technique you're saying, but I'm just coining it as a negative and a positive question, right? So inversion can be used also from a negative to positive. That means we can initially, first I ask, how can I fail in the project, or how will I really make so many mistakes?
Right.
Instead of me asking this question, we can always ask, how can I become more, perfect? Or how can I become more excellence in my work?
Right.
That's again inversion. Okay.
Absolutely.
That's a good one.
Absolutely.
Great. Very nice technique, Avani, which can really look forward to apply then and there, which is very nicely shared. Good, Partha. Thanks for asking that question. That question leads us to one more technique from Avani. Good one, and asking the question. And yes, other members and visitors, Now's the time for any more people to ask any question with respect to transform your mindset. Any more open questions to Ms. Avani, and then she would like to take it up. Do we have any questions on the chat box? Let me just see. Okay, there are no questions as such in the chat box. So one more hand is raised by Mr. Giri. Okay, yeah, Giri, a quick questions. Ensure a short question, Giri, so that will help us in adding value to our time. As already time is also pressing, it's 7:15. We need to come closely to an end. So one last question, and if other members and visitors, if you still have any question, please feel free to share it on the chat box, and later during our reflections episode, we can take them separately as well and we can discuss. So yes, over to you, Giri, for your question. You can quickly introduce yourself, and I believe we also missed Mr. Partha to be given an option to introduce. Partha, maybe when you're going to do the, I'll give an option for a word of thanks. At the time, you can kindly introduce yourself. And let's go ahead with Mr. Giri, a quick short intro and then ask the question, Giri. Please go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you for actually, I joined lately, but anyway, I hope I got some brain insights from Avani. Actually, really, it's awesome. But one thing is actually, I attended some of the training, this reptilian, mammalian brain, whatever the brain. But during morning, whatever the mindset, it's totally, it's starting from negative. Really, the 10 to 15 minutes, every challenge for me set me in positive side, because during night time, that dreams, dream, whatever it may be, the frustration that it's really recently I lost some of the money also. It's making me that 15 minutes I have to set my brain. It's really challenging for me. Can you please help me to reset my brain?
Sure. Well, that's a very difficult task. However, I'm going to try my best. First of all, thank you for the question. And secondly, very sorry to hear about the loss of money. Right. We hope that you recover your money very soon. Right. I understand, when we are going through a phase which is not very favorable for us, I'm sure, it happens with all of us. We get up in the morning and, the first thought comes to our mind is usually negative or of any kind of loss. And I can relate with COVID when we lost many of our close family members, friends, relatives, or there were people suffering, or even otherwise, in our day-to-day lives, there's something which is not going right. Right. So very quick tip of how you can convert your energy, which is not very positive, right, is that as soon as you get up from your bed, right, and or wherever you are sitting and you have these negative thoughts coming to yourself, right, you need to get up quickly. In the snap of a finger, you need to get up from that place where you are in your fixed mindset or that negative energy space, if I may call that, right? Because that area has your fixed mindset energies and we want to change them to positivity. So immediately get up, move to any other space. Now, this could be a space where it could be a meditative space, it could be a garden, or it could be any space which makes you feel happy. It could also be your kitchen, where you feel happy having your morning cup of tea, right? Move to any other space. Now, as you move, you're doing a physical action, right? There's a physical movement involved. You are shifting your awareness. And as you're shifting your awareness, you're shifting your energy, right? Any form of inaction, like sitting or just brooding or just blankly looking out of the window or just staring into nowhere should completely be changed to any form of action, right? Another form of, there are various ways of doing this. So for example, just let's assume I'm sitting right here, some reason, not feeling very happy. I will quickly clap my hands, get up and move, right? So clap my hands, changing my state. Clapping hands is usually connected with something positive, right? You could take a quick walk. If you're at a workplace, you could just walk up to the coffee machine. You could just walk up to a colleague, say hi to him or her, or simply get up to take a glass of water. Any movement will change that state because it changes your physical state. Not only does it change your physical state, but will also lead to a change in your mental state. I hope that helps you, Giri. Yes. Please let us know how that helps.
Yeah, sure. So already I have started that I am doing. Now I have joined on meditation course. It's a 5 to 6, I think, the theory and the process has started. Really, thanks for your. Actually, I am following it. Thank you.
Great, great.
Excellent.
All the very best, Giri.
Excellent, Giri. That's really great. Happy to listen to you that you have already started getting into the action. So really good. Keep it up and going. It will add more value to you. Good.
Yes, because instead of giving money to doctor, I hope this can help me.
Yes. Very
reality.
First, I have to, in meditation, they will tell that first say yes to everything.
Yeah.
So
true.
Absolutely, absolutely.
True. Very nice. Thanks very much, Giri, for asking that question. And it's an awesome episode. Avani, I really enjoyed the episode. A lot of practical examples, and the moment what you're saying that if that particular space is giving me a negative thought, the first thing I should quickly get up from that space and go to another space, because that's an aura which has been created. Identify an aura where it is giving you a positive energy or a feel, whichever room it could be, whichever space it could be, whichever person it could be. So something very nice. In fact, it's a very, very practical and easier methodology to switch to doing it rather than sitting in the same place and thinking, getting up quickly and then moving ahead is one of the very practical ones. Excellent, Avani. I really like the way how it has been shared and very insightfully you're sharing this, and I'm able to sense that this has been practiced by you, and that's where it's coming up very openly to you, and otherwise it's not just quickly as open as it is. So it's really seen that you're practicing this, which has really happened to oversee that in your face as well. Awesome, Avani. Happy to see this. So with this, we come to an end of our LC098 episode, and just another 5 minutes and we come to an all conclusion. So we have two things. One, we have a quick summary. So since the panel discussion leader today has been Senthil, so we request Mr. Senthil to summarize what are the key aspects on key pointers which has been taken. And then after that, we'll be introducing you to our next week's leader and the purpose of this community. And finally, we have an open introduction session. After the episode ends, we request all our members and visitors who are here to stay back so that we can have an introduction. So many people are new here. So this introduction may or may not happen. So we give an opportunity only after the episode is complete. We get an opportunity to introduce with each other and know about people so that we can help each other. That's what it is. So over to you, Senthil, for a quick summary, and then we take it forward.
Yeah, thank you very much, Prakash, giving the space to give us this gist of today's session. By the way, let me introduce myself. In fact, I should have started my introduction at the beginning. My apologies. Nevertheless, it's never been late to introduce my. I come with 28 years of experience, out of which 24 years from automotive industry and 4 years with HR background. And presently serving in Daimler in a commercial vehicle since 2009, almost with 14 years of experience, out of which 4 years comes from the HR and learning and development. And today in the space of Planet, I mainly focus in upskilling of the blue collar workforce, as well as in talent retention, as well as talent acquisition in the present job domain. Now, as time keeps pressing, let me keep the summary short and crisp. Coming to the summarizing of today's episode, we started with how the mind plays a critical role on what we think and how we believe. And we understood about the 3 types of brain transformation, which starts with the reptilian brain, and it comes with the limbic brain as well as the neocortex brain, how the transformation happens from the reptilian brain to the neurocortex. That is exactly what we see as the transformation of the mindset, which happens from the fixed mindset to growth mindset. And this is exactly the need of for every leadership need to get this improvement. And next is the belief shapes this attitude and how the mindset reinforces. And failure is nothing but coming from the fixed mindset, and success is what that need to get tuned from using a growth mindset. And limitation, how the limiting belief, like how the horse vision gets narrowed in a race. Similarly, how an elephant leg is getting tied with a limiting belief, how we need to transform this limiting belief from a reptilian brain to a neurocortex brain. So this is exactly the transformation that needs to be adapted using this switching pattern as well as inversion practice and inversion technique. These are some of the secrets what we could able to understand from today's session. Apart from that, we have one more thing like the water, which is the positive energy, and it's a universe with a more high synergy, where we can give our positive affirmation with a glass of water, seeing through the glass of water and giving more positive affirmation, and then gulping the water with positive energy brings more positivity when we deal with the next step, or when we deal with the next action, next set of action. Coming to the intention, how this intention affects this mindset, which like for example, when we are trying to address a meeting and suddenly by coincidence when we're stuck in a traffic, always never use the negative words saying that I am getting stuck in the traffic, because stucking in the traffic is only a temporary situation. Even the temporary situation gets passed away in our daily life. So we need to replace it with a more positive affirmation statement saying that as of now, I'm getting stuck in traffic. This is exactly the positive energy that comes when we try to inculcate this kind of a transformation shift practice, what we can do. And second thing is the conscious effort, what we need to put into our brain to see that how we can practice this inversion technique to bring more positive thoughts and positive emotions. Like how Giri was mentioning, that he's getting stuck when he has got some bad thought process or some loss of money or something which is running at the back of the mind, how to come up with the intellectual practice of switching pattern to come up from the comfort zone or come up from that negative zone by putting it into a more positive thoughts and positive feelings through, like what we say as the belief becomes your thought and thought becomes your words and words becomes your action. This is exactly what we could able to understand from today's episode and today's goosebump session from Avani. Really, thanks a lot, Avani, to make it more crisp. This is the exact what I could able to bring it. If you make it long, time keeps pressing. So I would like to cut short at this point of time.
Sure. Thanks very much, Senthil, for a quick summary and almost all the points you've shared it.
Yeah.
And Avani, thanks very much. That's really been awesome that we have been here. I understand time is pressing for you. You have another meeting to join is what I understand. And nevertheless, we just have a thank you note and the next week's leader alone, but we'll definitely share it with our members and visitors. So if you have a hard stop, thanks very much once again to join us. And any one message you'd like to share to our community members before you would like to take a leave?
Sure. Thank you so much. Thank you for this wonderful session. I would just want to say that growth mindset is all about, as they say, what you seek is seeking you if you believe in it. So let's end on that note. Thank you so much, Prakash, Senthil, Arul, and the entire team for such a wonderful session. I really enjoyed it.
Awesome. Thanks very much, Avani. It's really been great. We shall stay in touch and feel free, and we'll be able to interact more for future. Great. Thanks, Avani. And for all the members and visitors, I would request Mr. Parthasadi to share a thank you note and also introduce our next week's leader as well. Yes, Partha, over to you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Just before that, I would like to point a few things actually. Today, actually, I came to know about the resilient brain and the importance of the positive mindset, and that if we is to grow, we should have the growth mindset, inversion something. Really, I'm very happy to say thanks actually. Okay, thank you very much. And let me finish that, and let me give my small introduction about myself. Well, I'm T.R. Parthasarathi, a founder and CEO of Hazelman Solutions. I have 25 years experience in the IT field, and also I was based on the experience. I started my company in 2016. Almost we are in a 7th year. We are in a software, website design development, e-commerce, and then a certificate exam training product, project management, cyber security, and etc. Thank you very much. This is the introduction. So let me go to the vote of thanks. Okay, yeah. Before sharing about the next week leader, let me quickly share again the purpose of the community. If you find our episode interesting, kindly invite your contacts who will add value to the community. So for the visitors who are attending first time, okay, so this is a small intro about it. Leaders Connect 360 is a hybrid model leadership community where every week on a Wednesday from 6:30 p.m. to 7:15 p.m., we invite a top management leader from a reputed corporate company to share the solutions for our real-time leadership challenges, either on leading self, leading others, or leading your business, like how we have seen Mrs. Avani today. Okay, and so now I'm happy to share about our next week leaders. Our guest of honor, Mr. Kumar, Director of Cisco, And then our panel discussion leader, Mrs. Pratibha, soft skills trainer. Join us next week, 18th January 2023, Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. to 7:15 p.m. on Zoom. So, and then I request you all to join our social media platforms to receive weekly episode registration link and updates. So, members who wish to be in the panel discussion can give your names on the WhatsApp group, or please interact with Mr. Arul also. So, thank you, Mrs. Avani, for your support. Yeah.
Great, great. Thanks very much, Parth Sardi. That's awesome. And next week, all the members and visitors, please do join us. A director from Cisco is actually here for us. Very specific topic, art of forgiveness, and very niche topic, I would say, the art of forgiveness. It is forgiving ourselves and forgiving others. Both are there in it. And how do we really do that? Am I really able to forgive my own self for what mistakes have I committed earlier? Or am I able to forgive others, in fact, in terms of whatever mistakes they have committed? The other people could be in terms of our team members, our family members, so many. So that's a lot more to understand and learn from the leadership insights of Mr. Vignesh, who's the director from Cisco. So please do join us. And with this, we come to an episode, end of the episode, LC098. We'll share a thank you video, and then we request all the members to stay back for a quick introduction. Then many more new people are here. There's an opportunity for you to introduce yourself now after this quick video. And we give each person will give an opportunity to introduce yourself about you and your company or what you do, so that we help each other in terms of growing along together. So over to you, Arul. So quickly have a thank you video, and then we start our introduction. Great, thank you all. And then maybe we can stop sharing the